What up, everyone? Today I'm going to review Colorado State's redshirt junior wide receiver Preston Williams, who just declared for the NFL draft. Williams is a 6'4", 210-pound prospect who attended high school in Lovejoy, Georgia at Lovejoy High School. Coming out of high school, Preston was a 5-star recruit, ranked 38th overall and the 5th-ranked wide receiver by ESPN. 24/7 Sports had him ranked as the 47th best overall recruit and the 7th best wide receiver, and Rivals had him as the 158th best recruit and the 19th best receiver. Williams was also a state champion in a long jump and runner-up in the triple jump in high school, so he does have some track and field background too, which is good. You want to see that out of receivers, running backs, skill position players. Williams received offers from Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, Miami, and Tennessee, which is where he decided to commit. After committing to Tennessee, Williams tore his ACL midway through his senior season of high school. On top of coming off an ACL surgery, Williams was required to retake his ACT standardized test to become eligible his freshman year at Tennessee. So there was delays in getting his results back, but when he was finally declared eligible, it gave him a late start compared to his teammates going into his freshman year, on top of, getting that ACL repaired. So he was off to a rough start from the get-go at Tennessee. Preston Williams spent a year and a half at Tennessee under Butch Jones. Then he decided to transfer to Colorado State, where he was reunited with Mike Bobo. So Mike Bobo, the head coach of Colorado State, actually recruited Preston Williams out of high school when he was the offensive coordinator at Georgia. He was in the hospital at Williams' bedside during his ACL surgery, even though Williams decided not to go to school at Georgia. So that just shows you what kind of guy and what kind of relationship Mike Bobo and Preston Williams had. So that definitely played into him deciding to transfer to Colorado State. So he transfers in 2017. He has to sit out that year because of the NCAA rules. So instead of just sitting out, he actually runs track and field for the track and field squad and does the long jump. He had a setback with the law in January of 2018. He pled guilty to a misdemeanor assault charge after him and his girlfriend got into an argument. You definitely don't want to see that on someone's resume when you're looking at a prospect, if you're an NFL scout, NFL GM. So I think that's one thing that'll make him drop a little bit, along with that ACL tear in high school in the NFL draft. That the misdemeanor didn't result in him getting suspended at all. Oh, he was suspended, but it did not result in him missing any games. There's definitely some things that I think he can improve on, but I think he's definitely a good prospect that should slip a little bit in the draft. So he could be a nice diamond for you dynasty fantasy players. So now that you have a good understanding of Preston Williams' background, let's take a look at what makes Williams a good prospect and a good receiver for the next level. He's what I like to call a hands catcher. He plucks the ball out of the air, and when he does get his hands on it, it often is not ripped away, which is a show of good strength of hands. That's what we like to see out of our receivers. We like to see them pluck the ball out of the air and not let it get ripped away. He's definitely a big-bodied receiver as well, 6'4", 210 pounds with still a little bit of room to add some muscle and some size. The good thing about him and his frame is he knows how to use it. He's able to shield defenders like a basketball player boxing out for the rebound. We definitely like to see big-bodied receivers know how to use their bodies to their advantage. And overall, he's a very good athlete. I think he definitely displays that on his get-off off the line. When he wants to, of course. Sometimes he does get a little lazy. He shows that he can explode, which I'm sure his background in the long jump and the triple jump definitely helped with this explosiveness that he shows on film. He's shown that he's a smart football player, which, sometimes that's hard to see on film, but when you understand football and you can see the little nuances, Preston Williams definitely shows he understands the game. He knows when the defense is in zone, he'll find the soft spots there for his quarterback, get himself open, and kind of settle in those little holes. We like to see that, and there's a cut up that I'm going to show you here soon of him recognizing the defense is on a blitz, and he signals to the quarterback that, hey, this guy's coming off the edge here. I'm going to be hot. The quarterback doesn't see him I don't think. We'll look here soon. But it's what you like to see out of a prospect, a young guy like him. There are definitely some weak points in his game that he'll need to improve on in order to make it at the next level. One of those is being consistency. Sometimes I don't like his effort. Oftentimes, just watching him, you can tell if it's a run play or a pass play, which isn't something you like. You want to see this guy's giving the same effort and the same burst coming off the ball every time. And I'd like to see him use that big frame he has and impose his will on the corners and safeties and get some blocking downfield to bust open some big runs. That's how you get those big 20-plus yard runs, is when the receivers are blocking downfield and all 11 players are doing their job. Now, he does show some good feet, but his routes are inconsistent too. At times, he'll round off the top of his routes, or he doesn't get the depth that he should. Sometimes he doesn't give the QB enough field to work with downfield on the 9 routes, or he doesn't step on the toes of his defender to flip their hips on their comebacks and hooks. I think the fact that he's only really had one good season of football so far is definitely a factor into this. 2018 with Colorado State was really the only full year and full volume workload that he has on tape. He had that late start as a freshman at Tennessee, and then he left midway through of his second year with Tennessee to transfer. So this year was really the only year he's had, and I think that plays into it. He's inexperienced, but I definitely think he has the athleticism and the will and drive. Just from observing him, I don't know him, I haven't talked to him, stuff like that, but I think he could definitely improve on his route running over time. Another weakness, I guess you can call it a weakness, I wouldn't really hold it too much against him or be too worried about it, is his speed. I don't think he possesses that breakaway, game-breaking speed, but he's not going to be asked to take the top off the defense. That's not the type of receiver he is. He's going to play the X. So he'll be lined up on the outside, getting those big-bodied throws, high-pointing the football, comebacks, hooks. He'll be a possession guy. He does have that ability, though. He does have that above-average speed. I just don't think he possesses that Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown type speed. We'll see his numbers at the combine. I'll be very interested to see what he runs in the 40. So let's take a look at some of the cut-ups that I put together for Preston Williams' film. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll wrap this video up. Let's take a look here. Got Preston Williams up top. Good release. Attacks the ball at the point of attack. Goes up and snags the ball. Snatches it. Pulls it away from the defender. Watch. High points it. Good vertical. Snatches it and pulls it away from the defender. That's what we like to see. Strong hands. Good awareness. Good body control. Next we have Preston Williams lined up top. We're going to take a look at this play, though it will end up being incomplete, but it's a good show of his hands. Goes up, high points the ball. Good route. Stem to the inside. Plant, go upfield. Momentum carried out of bounds, but let's take a look at the replay here. Good presence of mind to almost try to get the foot down. Just want to show you his hands, high pointing the football. Though it's incomplete, it's a good show of his skill. Next, we're going to take a look at this play here with Preston Williams lined at the bottom of the screen. He's going to get a great release here against this press corner, run a good route, and get a first down here in crunch time. I love the use of his hands. Great hands catch. Great route. Great release. We're going to take a look at this play here against Arkansas again. Lined up at the top of the screen. Gets a great burst off the ball. Gets a good release. And this play here is a great display of the use of his body and his hands. Great at shielding the defender. Gets up, shields the defender. Great concentration to make the catch and a touchdown. Want to take a look at this play here. Got Preston Williams lined at the top. He sees that this blitz is likely coming. This man is likely coming. So what does he do? He signals the quarterback with his hand here. See, he's got his hand out right here. He sees this guy's coming. Quarterback sees it. Up. Just those little subtle things are the things you like to see out of receivers. Using their head and being smart. You know, those things you can teach, but you can only do it so much. You know, you can only tell a guy so much. You like to see prospects being able to understand the game like that. Those are the things that'll get you to play on Sundays quicker. So I just want to wrap this up. You guys are probably sick of hearing me talk. I think Preston Williams definitely has a good shot of being a productive wide receiver at the next level. I think he's going to fall in the draft due to the injury history, you know, the torn ACL senior year of high school. There's not a lot of film out there on him, so there's just that 1 year he had at Colorado State last year. Very little film of him his freshman year at Tennessee. Sophomore year, he transferred midway through, didn't play a lot. That's one of the reasons he did transfer is the playing time. So, you know, I don't know. I just think he's probably going to fall down to the 3rd, 4th round, possibly 5th round because of the misdemeanor assault charge from the argument he got with his girlfriend. I think I'm definitely going to take a swing at him in the Dynasty League that I'm in. I think he'll be a 3rd round pick. I don't think he's going to be on a lot of guys' radar. Of course, it's all going to come down to the NFL Combine. You know, how's he going to test? What's his 40 like? What's his vertical like? What's his broad jump, bench, all that kind of stuff? How big are his hands? You know, he definitely has the size. He has the athleticism. He has the hands. I think that all translate to the next level. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna say 4th round. That's where I think he's gonna go. Could he go as high up as the 2nd round? Yeah. I think someone would take a shot on him, but I'm gonna say 4th round pick. So some of you asked me to make my player comparison for him at the next level. This might sound like a weird one, but Roddy White is someone that he reminds me of. You know, above average speed, good size, really good hands. Not a great route runner, but a good enough route runner, and he knows how to use his body. I think those are things that Roddy White took advantage of, and his player comp, I think they fit the same profile. I really think Preston Williams will be a productive wide receiver in the NFL if he's able to get on the field and keep his head on right. I thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for further 2019 prospect reviews. You can follow me on Twitter at FantasyJimbo. I will have a website coming out here soon before next year's football season. Don't hesitate to tweet at me, send me a message, comment on the video. Looking forward to chatting with you guys. Thanks.